Good afternoon, Nikki. We're certainly joining you now from a wet and grim Pretoria. The CBD is bustling right now. People seem to be making their way home. It's such a weird juxtaposition in a sense to what's happening inside court. Inside court, one life gone, one life hangs in the balance. And here on the streets, as people make their way home, life continues as normal. It was quite an eventful day inside court on the sixth day of Oscar Pistorius' murder trial. We'll get a sketch and a look back from our reporter Karen Morn in just a moment as to how proceedings unfolded. But let's start here. For now, court proceedings have been adjourned. Earlier, the athlete lost his composure in the dock and he actually became physically sick. And this is while evidence on the autopsy conducted on Reeva Steenkamp was being heard in court. Pathologist Gert Saayman on the stand giving evidence about the extent of Reeva Steenkamp's wounds, saying the model died as a result of multiple gunshot wounds. Someone inside court, as always, senior reporter Karen Morn. Karen, there were a lot of developments in court today. I mean, the one big development, of course, was to what extent we could cover this. And I think it situates nicely what we're going to say later on. Just talk to us about what the difficulties were with Professor Gert Saayman wanting to give his testimony in open court and allow it to be broadcast.
Well, intrinsically, he was the one who brought the objection. Remember, under the normal rules of court, in this particular case, Judge President Dunstan Lambo was saying that all expert witness would be televised in full. But it was Dr. Saayman who came to the court and said, as a medical professional with the ethical duties that I feel, I am very uncomfortable with my evidence being broadcast. I feel that it would compromise my duty to Reeva Steenkamp and my duty to her family, and could potentially compromise her dignity and that of her family.
You know, in a sense, we have to realize that a lot of this is experimental. I mean, we've set a precedent with the broadcast of this trial live, via audio, via television and the like. And in a sense, the judge also has to grapple with what all of these new permutations will mean for how court will run and what can and cannot be said outside.
I think one of the biggest problems is that throughout this trial we've had a great deal of difficulty in trying to have clarity on what a lot of the judge's orders mean, and today was a case in point. We did see a number of media organizations choosing to live tweet when there was an explicit order to the contrary. People were very confused as to when they could report on the case. Even now, there is still a great deal of uncertainty as to what those orders mean in practice. I think they come from an intensely good place. I think the judge is definitively trying to protect everyone here and not allow this chase to degenerate into a media circus. But I think the lack of specificity in a lot of the orders is creating a lot more problems further down the line.
And it certainly seems like it's a conversation that Judge Tokosila Masipa will have to continue in the days ahead as questions are asked about the decisions made in court in regard to that today. But it's been a full day of drama here in Pretoria. The court deciding that the media should not broadcast the graphic details of Steenkamp's post-mortem. It also had to deal with reports that witnesses had also been attacked on social media.
Know more. ENCA.com